Katie was my very first grandchild. She was born in Garden City.
Katie was my sister. She was my older sister. She was my best friend. Growing up, we were super close, had a great relationship, wouldn't change anything.
I am Katie's mother. She was born June 17th, 1994. Her daddy and I were married in 93, Michael Deal, and we were together for 5 years and then divorced. But we've remained friends for forever.
So I was Katie's uncle. Her dad is my brother. Jan Deal is my mother. Pretty close to Katie for a good chunk of her life, especially when she was smaller.
When I moved in with her father, Katie would go back between her mom's house and our house.
One of the things that we talk about a lot, because all of us were involved, was her vocabulary. When she was 3 or 4, she called elephants were wood axe. Don't ask me why. Santa Claus was koa koa. She liked to go play in the backyard. She was osmos almost ready. Osmos.
So when she was a little kid, she was probably like 3. She was really cute and had a lot of personality. And the song by No Doubt called Spiderweb, it was a real big song, and she could sing the whole thing, and I was just, I'll never forget that.
I loved watching her with my son. But one of my favorite memories was Russell was about 4 months old. He had finally started giggling and interacting with everything and just developing this little personality. And Katie and him just clicked. Katie had Russell, and my cousin had this balloon, and she was throwing the balloon to Russell as Katie was holding him. And Katie would swing him under, and the balloon would bop him on the head, and both of them would just blow up with laughter.
When she was young, she wanted to be a vet. Then she was thinking she'd be a vet tech or a vet assistant because she just loved animals. She's just very natural with animals.
4-H played a big role. She went from goofy, having fun, and then when she was showing cattle, it was very much disciplined and routine, and I think that was amazing for her. That is something she thrived in. I'd drive all over with my grandparents or my dad just so we could watch Katie show.
Michael is my son. My second one. He, funny, everybody loved him. In Katie's growing up years, he was mostly sober, had more trouble with alcohol in late years, and died at 46 of a heart attack.
After her dad died, I think she just hit a wall, hit a low point in her life. That she never made it out of. But her dad wouldn't have wanted that.
I got a phone call from the police department on a Friday afternoon that Katie was drunk at the football game. So things started shifting right then. To me, in my eyes, things went sideways probably right then that night. She was going to try to finish early and graduate early, but then things kind of started going sideways with her. So she didn't get to graduate early and then didn't graduate, but then got into the classes online. Anyway, she graduated high school from Holcomb.
Katie would do the Irish goodbye. It's where you just disappear, like you're at a social event and all of a sudden, where's Katie? Started to put 2 and 2 together. She was going to get some drugs, because then she'd come back and her mood would be just completely different.
You try to be in denial. You are in denial. I knew it was a problem. I helped her in every way I could, realizing that you can't.
She would be honest if we asked her, Katie, are you high right now?
I know early high school stages, she smoked weed with her friends. I think that later adapted into harder drugs.
We told her we didn't want her around if she was not sober. One evening, she was staying here because I was helping her do something the next morning, and she did get high. And of course, the only time I saw her like that, hated it, absolutely hated it.
I remember the last time she was arrested because she had called me and she was blaming it on somebody else. I had laughed. I literally laughed. I said, Katie, it's no one else's fault right now. I said, if you're the one in this situation continuously, you're the common denominator.
The last time I saw Katie was Holy Thursday. She went to church with me, and she was sober, and she on Easter Sunday she spent time with Nana, Beth, her other Heidi's mom.
Came home and she was gonna take a bath. She loves to take baths. We were sitting on the love seat in the living room, and Cooper and I were talking, and I said, man, she's really messed up today. I said, she's gonna end up killing herself, Coop. I said, I don't know what to do. And he goes, I know, Mom. And I said, I'm gonna I'll just check on her real quick. And I walked in the bathroom. The bathtub was running, and she was sitting on the floor, starting to just kind of slump over. I shut the bathtub off, and I said, Kathleen, get up. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? I mean, there were no drugs. I said, get up. I'm not doing this. And so she got up. I pulled her up. I said, you need to go upstairs and just get in bed. This is ridiculous. And so she got up. We walked all the way up the stairs. I said, just stay in here. And I said, don't come out tonight. Just stay in there and go to sleep. Can you just go to sleep? So I went downstairs, did something, maybe, I don't even know if it had been 30 minutes, but I thought, I'm going to go back up and check on her. So I walked back upstairs, and I couldn't get the door open. Pushed on it a little bit more and got it open just enough, so I was feeling through there. I said, what did she put in front of the door? And so I reached down some more, and I felt her, and I thought, oh, wow. So I said, Katie, I was yelling at her, Katie, get up, get out of the move, would you? And she didn't say anything, so I pushed the door a little harder, and she kind of rolled over. She was laying in front of the door in fetal position, several colors. And so I ran downstairs, tried to find my phone, opened the other door, yelled down at Cooper, come help me, I need help. I handed Cooper the phone. I said, dial 911, and they gave her 4 doses of Narcan, and she was too far gone.
I just broke down. I was so hopeful that she was going to get better.
Heidi's mom, he came to the door, and I will never forget, she said, Katie's gone. So I'm thinking, where has Katie gone to? You know, that was my first thought. It took her a while to explain to me that she was gone. Her mama called me.
And I went out to the house.
Just the day after is just about like today. It's miserable. It's unbelievable to lose a child. And she is so special. She's precious and so fun and funny. She would be so upset if she knew. How bad it hurts.
I remember having that feeling of guilt very quickly. I wasn't as engaged as I should have been. But again, I didn't think that was a possible outcome. So, again, how naive, right?
I've tried not to allow myself to feel guilty, because, I walked her upstairs to her deathbed, more or less, I didn't know she was overdosing. I had no clue.
We miss her. And we'll never get the chance to watch her grow up. It's not fair.
It was Easter weekend when she passed away, and so that week, like maybe Thursday or Friday, maybe even Saturday, she wrote out, she journals and she made lists, and so her list she had just wrote out was her goals for the week, and one of them was to get sober.
In the final analysis, it was an accidental overdose. It was whatever she bought that day, whenever she bought it, it was overdose with fentanyl.
When she had passed, I had inherited the truck she had because it was our dad's. And she had this small little pocket Bible that my grandma had given her. On the back of it, it said, "Don't give up till the miracle happens." A lot of the time when you hear about people with addiction, you hear about them relapsing and not wanting to get better. And Katie wanted to get better.
This is a, unfortunately, all too common story, and there's no reason for young people to die like this. And so that's what I hope. I hope that somehow this story gets out and it affects young people when they're making those very important life decisions.
Nobody deserves to have to bury a loved one, especially when they have so much life to live. Recovery's out there, and the only way to get it is to talk about it. It's gonna hurt, but it's gonna hurt first if somebody has to read your eulogy.
Sarah's been very active in speaking to crowds about it.
And if that could help one person, then that's Katie's legacy.
One of the big issues to me personally, as somebody that has had somebody die from addiction, yes, they're arresting the addicts, but then they're not going after who is distributing these drugs.
We try to post things on social media, fentanyl awareness. I mean, just try to keep her somewhat alive, legacy, just her, the memory of her. And
Katie will always be impactful to me in that, honestly. She was just my little friend. We have a lot in common, liked all the same music, similar sense of humor. I'll probably just think of her a lot for the rest of my life.
I would love it if she'd walked in that door.
Get up and hug her like I always do and kiss her. I would hug her every day. Every time I saw her, I would grab her and I'd kiss her right on her little forehead. Every time.
So, Squirrel is my nickname. It's one my dad gave me. And that's something that her and my dad called me my whole life. Really, since they've passed away, no one really calls me that anymore. But, yeah. It's just something that really gets me. That was something that I was so annoyed with growing up. I hated being called Squirrel, but now that I'm not called it anymore, I miss it. She's right by my dad and my grandpa. Right in between.